Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hindsight, where we see bad situations that can be avoided by good reasoning. But sometimes a situation is unavoidable and self defense is needed to get you to safety.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hindsight, martial arts / self-defense podcast. That's not boring. All right, so we got a real special guest today. You know, Mrs. Suave's on the line, and we got a guest, Jazzy, our first female co-host coming in, helping us out. So, you know, everybody give her a big welcome. Jazzy, say what's up.
What's up?
Jazz, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So today's case, a history of rape has finally ended. Another tough one to put in the books, but you know, at Hindsight, we got to do it. So this article is by CBSNews.com, the CRIMESIDER staff. In Youngstown, Ohio, Arnold Perry, age 34, has been convicted of raping and impregnating two 14-year-old twins along with their 12-year-old sister. Yes, folks, you heard it right. Perry raped and impregnated all three siblings. Perry has been sentenced to 27 years in prison on rape and sexual battery charges. Assistant Mahoning County Prosecutor Jennifer McLaughlin said before sentencing Thursday that Perry abused the trust of the girl's family after their mother allowed him to move in when he had nowhere to live. Look at that. Sad state. So the girls were impregnated in 2015 and 2016. One of the 14-year-old twins aborted the baby, but the other two girls gave birth to the babies, citing that they were too far along to abort. Prosecutor McLaughlin noted that Perry has a history of similar crimes as a juvenile, so this isn't his first rodeo, folks. Mark Lavelle, Perry's defense attorney, said that this was the most heinous case he'd ever handled, but he disagrees and thinks that Perry should be sentenced to 15 and 16 years in prison. Lavelle said Perry suffered a brain injury as a child that prevents him from having feelings about his actions. Perry apologized before sentencing. The girl's mother stated that she is receiving no help from Perry's family. Yes, folks. Yeah, you heard right. Should we do Suave, you want to go in, or is it ladies first?
I don't know. I'm thinking. I like ladies first. Jazzy, how you feel about that?
I have to be honest about it. I'm a little uncomfortable even thinking about this heinous crime. It's so tragic to hear. Not only he was sentenced for 27 years, that there's somebody else that have an opinion that he deserves less. And to me, in my eyes, it's more like he's a terrorist. I mean, he terrorized these young ladies and took away their dignity, their mental state, and probably just ruined them for the rest of their lives. So it's a really difficult topic to talk about, for sure.
Okay, all right. Let's let Suave warm the mic up.
You know what, Jazzy, that is on point. That is on money. You said it so nice. I would have been so raw and nasty, but I see you come at it on another angle. I like it. Before I even go in, I just say what I always say. These views here on Hindsight, our views alone. So getting your feelings, you don't like what we say, you're emotional about it, you want to copy what we say. It's entertainment purposes only. So do what you want. Hate us if you want. We don't even care. Oh man, I'm reading this story and I'm looking at this cat's picture, Mr. Perry, man. I'm not saying they use the worst picture of this cat, but man, he just looking at him. Not saying that that's the case, but looking at him makes him feel like, yeah, he did it. I'm sorry, I hear about this brain injury. Oh, he don't have feelings, but yeah, court, he apologized. If he ain't have feelings about his action, what he apologizing for? He don't give a damn. I mean, two 14-year-olds and a 12-year-old. What you doing, man? And I don't even want to discuss the victims, because those are the victims. I want to know what the hell is their mom doing helping this dude out? What is the relationship between this cat And the moms, was this an old boyfriend? Is this a family member? I'm not getting any type of detail about that. Because if she knows anything about this cat, anything about his upbringing or history, she knows he's a danger to them girls. So I'm assuming, it's not saying, but I'm assuming she's a single mom. So she got these 3 babies, and she's, the mother. These are your cubs. You're the lioness. You gotta fish out every single male or female that come around your little babies. You can't leave this dude. Oh, he needs a place to live. He's homeless, man. For me, that's a red flag off the bat. Me and my little one, I'd be damned if I let somebody. I don't even like family members being around her. I don't even, they ain't around her long enough. I don't know what they've been doing for the past 5-10 years. Shit. And then
that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what else it is to think about? Like that is such a good point that you brought up all those red flags. It should have been so many red flags that the mother should have seen before, they got impregnated or whatever the case may be. Like, you have 3 young ladies in the house. Like, when have you been gone for so long that you didn't see signs of, attitude, mood changes? You didn't spend time with your girls enough to know, their habits and things like that to get those red flags. But the craziest thing that I noticed reading the article is when they said that he had a brain injury that disabled him from feeling or having emotions, right? So they basically told him to apologize. Somebody told him to apologize because you don't know what an apology is, right? So to me, that's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, he got a chemical imbalance from working in that environment with people incarcerated. These people are given the pills to get their minds level. So him being incarcerated, like I said, I don't know where he came from, because she said she was going to help him out. So I don't know where he actually came from. Maybe he came from an institution or something where he actually needs to be on some type of medication to level them chemicals out in his head, so he knows, hey, this ain't right. I know in science, physicists couldn't touch on that. We've come a long way with science. I know we got chemicals and things to level his mind out if he don't realize what he's doing, to at least let him feel a little bit of something. I just can't see how the mom didn't realize, unless, I even hate to be a devil advocate and say, yo, how is the mom raising these kids that you're the mother, you're the sole protector, you living with them for the past 12, 14 years, you're all they know. This dude comes out of nowhere, he violates all 3 females, and they don't come to you, they don't say nothing, you don't see nothing different, you don't, some blood somewhere, something had to be different. You just, I don't know, man. This dude would have been dead on the front door. Say, hey, call me, take me. I'm sorry. That's it.
Yo, but you know what? You know what else I was thinking about as a mother, right? Because I am a mother. So as a mother, you already, what if none of this there was no red flags for her to see? She's a hardworking single mother, and she probably worked during the time that they're sleeping, and he was the only babysitter, and she thought she could trust him. Like, it's hard being a single parent, and then you have 3 young ladies. So you think the oldest is probably, looking out for the other 2. It might be a lot more to this story than we can see on the surface.
I feel you on that. That's actually that's a valid point, and that's mad. That is truthful. But if she, it's just so much we don't know. Like, okay, she's raising these 3 ladies, but is the dad involved? He couldn't watch the kids. You really want to leave him with a dude that you just took into your house, who's 34 years old, look crazy as hell to me. That's who you really going to entrust to be around your girls, when a lot of dudes you don't know are just creeps in general. They don't really care how old the girl is. We don't know how these girls, maybe they develop, the things they put in these chemicals nowadays, these children are developing completely different from when I was a kid. 14 and 12-year-olds don't look like 14 and 12-year-olds from when I was a kid. They look like 18 and 19-year-olds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I don't know.
Is it revealed how long that she knew the man? Like, did they know each other prior to him moving in? Or was she literally just met him on the street and was like, oh, you look like you need some assistance. Can I help you out? Like, type thing. Like, what? Like,
I'm giving out handouts. She giving out handouts.
Like, what is the situation behind her and the guy though? Like, did they know each other? Were they fooling around? Like,
I don't know. That's just so. That's where the articles are so vague. They're not going into any type of detail. I'm thinking she knows she's gonna get hit over the head by people, and she's gonna get bashed by people. Like, yo, why would you even allow this dude? What was your arrangement? What was your connection to this man, this grown ass man, to be in your house with these little girls, to trust him like that? That's why I say maybe it was a family member. I don't know. Maybe a cousin. But even if that's the case, then you already know he got something wrong with him. So even still, then I wouldn't trust the motherfucker around my little girls. I just couldn't. I couldn't. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, be physicist. You got a little girl. I mean, you had a cousin or a homeboy who you knew had a problem like this. You gonna let them slide and just take care your little one
nah.
with no supervision? Hell no.
Absolutely not. And I think there's something to be said about this. And I think we've done maybe a case or two about something like this that happened. Remember when the case in the past, there was a lady who had a boyfriend and she caught him in the middle of the night trying to do something to her daughter. And, you know, she put the hands on him. And you talked about a background check, you know, paying that money, you know, forget the bottle at the nightclub for a weekend or forget the bar for a weekend and actually spend the money and do a background check. And I think that what we're seeing this pattern of sometimes these ladies have, you know, they're single mothers and, you know, they're stressed out, whatever. They want to have their fun and, you know, have adult relations and, you know, risking having a warm bed to sleep in. You know, they put their family at risk, which isn't good. So, you know, is a warm bed to sleep in really worth the risk of your children being traumatized and affected for the rest of their lives? I don't think so.
See, the only reason I didn't even bring up the background check is because they're just so vague of the information of how these two, the mother and this dude, know each other. Mr. Perry know each other. This old rat bastard. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what she knows about the dude. Of course, I always say put the bottle of Hynde down $34 and go put them $30 on the background check of the person you trying to talk to a date. That save you a lot. But it's not. I mean, we read a lot of stories and they sound biased on the females that normally in these situations. But I'm almost positive there's dudes that go on the same case as well. I've talking to some people, they've told me that females are just as vindictive against children who are not theirs as men, and it's just they do it on such a more psychological level to hurt the child, opposed to when a man do it to physically hurt the child. So it goes on both sides of the realm. And Jazzy said a good point. If you're a single mother, you grinding. And like I said, we don't know the history between them two, but you entrust this person because you're out here grinding to provide for the fam, for your little ones. You put so much faith that you ain't, something like that is on the back burner because you entrusted them. And then you find something out like this. I mean, damn, you yourself, the mom got to be feeling just as bad as the females.
Right. But why she even one of the girls was too far along, huh?
Two of the girls were too far.
I condone anything like that, but one was too. But I think one of them actually had the child.
One of the twins had the child. The other two were too far along when they actually found out.
Oh wow!
So he must have. I just feel, damn. I don't know the mindset of these females too. These girls watching social media and all this Facebook crack nowadays.
I think both two had the child and one
had it. One of the twins had the child. One didn't, and the 12-year-old did have the child also. So a 12 and a 14-year-old is with a child now. And one of the 14-year-old twins was able to abort before, I guess she wasn't far along the process. So she was still in that stage where they could still abort. But I was these girls just little fast girls? I remember my nephew, he a grown man now, he's like 19. But I remember he was 12 one time. And he told me, I said, boy, you better stay away from that little girl. I don't know what the hell you little kids doing in school nowadays. But he said, he's in like 4th grade. He said, "Oh, a girl said she want me and my friend to sleep over with her naked." I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" I know I was a little dirty rat when I was a kid, but I mean, damn, I wasn't that advanced.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hell
These kids
yeah.
wilding out these days.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this story is just crazy. I don't even know how to process this at all. There's like so much missing information. It seems like an article, or whatever, and then like it's hard as a mother, from my perspective, to really blame the mother at all. But I would like to know like everything, like all the the ins and outs of how she met dude, like why did she even trust him that much to be around her girls that long enough for something like that to even happen? Like, what was her lifestyle like? There's so many questions. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's that. I think that's almost a summary of what we all been saying. We just want to know why, damn, why? That's why I feel like Anthony Hamilton. Why?
And I remember you guys were saying the background check thing, but a lot of times, like, what if they just haven't gotten caught? There's so many predators out there that's just getting away with stuff, and they make it a habit, and they start learning the people that they can manipulate, you know what I'm saying, and they getting away with it. So there's no record of these crazy.
Yeah, very good point.
Mm. See, we didn't even think about it. We didn't even think about it on that side, on that level. Okay.
So let me ask you guys, since it's two males talking right now. I'm the only female chatting, and I just want to know your perspective from if the shoes were on the other foot. You know what I'm saying? You just met a young lady, because I feel like this is just my perspective. I feel like women are given a lot more trust in the beginning of a relationship, whether it's a friendship or intimate or whatever. I just want to know from your perspective, if you just met a young lady or whatever, and she was down and out, and you probably fell in love with whatever, and you said, okay, you can hang out at my place, but you had, say, 3 young boys. Would you feel threatened, or how would you mitigate, the potential of, her being a predator or being harmful to your children?
Oh man, B physicist, you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, let me go in. I think for me personally, let's just say, I was in that situation. I would not do that. Honestly, I would wait maybe 6 months to a year to see where the relationship goes before I even introduce a female to my male kids, if I had any, or any kid for that matter. I think just, because you don't know how long these relationships may last. Some of them are short, some of them can be a little longer. And I don't feel like disrupting kids' lives like that, because that's a lot for a child to take on, some stranger that they don't even know that well coming into the house. So first they would have to get to know them. I would have to see how they interact with the kids and everything. Well, before that, I would have to see if they even liked kids, because there's some people that just don't like kids. There's some people that, are really weird, so you kind of really have to look at the signs, see how they interact with your children, and then make that decision. But Suave, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I think it's almost like 100%. What you said is on the money. I'm so protective of my little one now. I'm like, man, you ain't, what you want me her for? You don't need to meet her. You down and out. You need a place to stay. It almost sound like you trying to come after me. You don't even need to see nobody else. you don't need to spend the night. You don't need to do nothing. So yeah, I'm not even looking at it like you're not meeting nobody. You're not. I don't know. I don't even think you're worth meeting anybody because I don't know nothing about you. Like you said, 6 months to a year. I don't know. I think it all depends on the if you're going on that level, it depends on the chemistry of you and that person. But as far as you meeting my little ones, to say if I had 3 boys, I know it sounds bad, but I always say, damn, like nowadays all these teachers asleep with students. I'm like, man, where was these teachers when I was a kid? I wish I was one of them kids. That sounds bad, but that's how I felt now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
it sounds bad, but a lot of
Yeah, but it's men like you. You see that the double standards. You see, this is why, Suave.
if I say if I was 12 14 in middle school, high school, I was like, man, but man, our teachers wasn't even built like these teachers nowadays. Also, so it's also different. But I mean, that's just me thinking as if I was in school. For me myself, for me my boys, no, I wouldn't want them be messing with some chick that just came over the house who was down and out. I don't know what the hell she got, what kind of diseases she got. And my kids are too. I want them to be kids. I want them to enjoy being kids and think kids got cooties. Okay, think a girl is cute, but the girl your age or a year old, I don't want you doing grown folk things that you don't have no idea what the hell you're doing, and you being taught things that you don't know what the hell you're being taught. You can't comprehend, understand the effects of everything that's going on of what you're doing. I don't think that's cool at all. Minus what I said before, that's just maybe me as a kid fantasy. I don't know, but as far as my boys would go, hell no, hell no. But I still think that's like, as far as the school situation I threw out, that scenario, I think that is completely double-sided as far as a guy and a girl at that age would think. I think.
Right, I agree with you. I agree with both of you actually, and just to add a security perspective to all that, like this may be a little OD, but this is just my mindset. Like I'm gonna have cameras in the house. I got a tracker on your little cell phone. Like, hey, where you going after school? I want to know what address. I'm gonna go there and meet their parents. Like, you got to try to go to those extremes, and that's not always feasible, but it's definitely some of the options. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say there's 21 options. You pick number 21. You better explore all those options when it comes to the safety of your child.
Now, Jazzy, I'd ask you, since you're the female, and then I ask B physicists too. Now, would you say is a difference on how you would raise your daughter opposed to your son? You giving them the same standards? I already know me, my princess. I already know it's gonna be like Bad Boys 2, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's it. I might give my son more leeway, which ain't right, but I don't know. I just feel like I just gotta protect. I feel like I gotta protect her and keep her so much more safe. Even though I'm gonna teach her all the game. I want her to know all the game. But I just feel like I don't want to keep her in the bubble. I just want her to be so safe as possible. But I don't know. I feel like I'm being too soft on her. Opposed to if it was a boy, I'd be real hard on him.
For me, I'm a mother of a daughter, so I really can't say how exactly I would react if I had a son, but I'm assuming it would be a little more lenient. And the only reason I say that is because coming from a woman's perspective, growing up the way I did, and just seeing my female peers and how, the things that we experience emotionally, like there's so many like ups and downs about, being self-aware and just basically learning who you are as a woman. And there's so many vulnerable areas where it can become a big risk, you know what I'm saying, for the female. And it may be like that for a male too. You guys can speak on that, but like, I know for a fact that, we become way more vulnerable throughout our, especially adolescent ages, as our hormones are changing. And those are the biggest risks, especially in this day and time with chat rooms and the internet and crazy stuff like that.
So I'm wondering if that dude just took advantage of these girls, knowing that they might be going, maybe not even knowing, just maybe they just going through these phases and they don't know really what's going on, and he just jumped on what he said he raped them anyway, but still, I'm just so upset that they ain't saying nothing. But
it's just so easy to get overpowered as a fragile female. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying all females are fragile. I'm just saying, like, when you're emotionally vulnerable and then like sometimes even physically weaker than a man, or, you know what I mean? It's just so much more risk.
That's true. Because sometimes a grind strike might not work. Sometimes hitting somebody in the throat might not work. Hitting somebody in the head with a bottle might not work. All these things you could try to get to hit somebody to keep you off you, or
then you
somebody in the eyes.
Right. And then you got somebody telling you at the same time, tapping onto that emotional mindset, that mental mindset where you're like, man, you are pretty. You don't think you're pretty? I think you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like you start tapping into a woman's psyche like that, and there's a huge risk there.
Mm, mm.
Wow. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that, Jazzy?
I wish I can. It's hard to explain. Like it's really hard to explain, especially like I mean, I'm past that stage now, but you know, even as a woman, you still go through those um, pitfalls of self awareness where you're just not completely in tune with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you start thinking, "Oh, am I doing this right as a woman? Am I being a good woman to my man? Am I being a good mother? Am I being a good daughter, mother, friend?" You know what I'm saying? Um, it's like constant, I think, from a female perspective, to think like that. But if you don't control your mindset, the way you're thinking, and have the support around you to keep you in line, I think you become weaker and weaker, and you leave gaps and you leave openings for predators and people that are just trying to attack you in different ways.
That's money. That is money. That is money that me or beat physicists wouldn't think of, because we don't even have that vision like that. That's jewels right there. Jazzy dropping jewels. Damn.
What Jazzy do? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Well, beat physicists. I mean, I guess to wrap up on this scenario, unfortunate situation, but know who you bring into your house. I think that's the key point. Know who you bring into your house, especially if you got little ones who can't defend themselves, or they can't say nothing, or they could be mentally, physically overpowered or put in fear to not speak up until it's too late. And had these girls said something earlier, they could have got checked out earlier. But who knows what this dude said to them? And like I said, situation could go both ways. If it was like Jay said, if it was a male who invited a female, she was taking advantage of the boys. Know who the hell you bring in your house and around your kids. Weed them out. Weed them out. I'm done with this bum.
Okay. All right. I think that was a good analysis. Yeah, I concur. I think we beat this one up. Folks, the name of the show is Hindsight. If you want to get in touch with us, we're on Instagram, _Hynde_site. We're on YouTube, The Hindsight, Stitcher, iTunes, we're everywhere. So you can get the podcast, catch us on YouTube, all over. Tell your friends about us. Tell your grandmother about us. Tell your cousin about us. And drop us a line at thehindsight@gmail.com.
Tell it like it is. Tell it like it is. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thanks for being on the show with us and giving us this knowledge.
We got Jazzy dropping jewels. That's all I'm gonna say. Jazzy dropping jewels.
Money.
All right, folks. Take care.
Peace.
Good night.